is Friday.
Thank goodness.
If it's about 4:30 or 5, it'd be good to go, right?
Absolutely. Well, how's the gray ratchets doing?
They've been doing good. The bigger ratchets sold quicker. The 1/4 inches we've had a little longer, but the 3/8 and a half we sold them within the first week of having them. So
wow, that's good.
And it may be the placement there. They may not be seeing them as much. It's pretty cool to. You'd be surprised how moving stuff from one shelf to the other. I firmly believe that's why Walmart changes stuff up.
I was going to say, have you been to Walmart lately?
Yeah.
Because the whole store's flipped.
If you've been to our Walmart, if you were there last week, you have not been there this week. It's probably totally different from the way that it's been being.
I went in to get a pack of markers, and I went to where normally the school stuff is. Yeah, it's not there. Now the markers are where the dog food used to be.
Yeah.
Weird.
So we did the same thing with bread. I think we were totally lost on bread.
Yeah, they moved it like 4 aisles over.
And I know I went in. They were going to do s'mores one weekend, and the candy aisle's been the same that it's been since they built that Walmart. And I looked, and finally there was a guy there that worked there, and I said, "Hey, where is the candy at?" He said, "I just saw it." He said, "I stocked it last night." So here we go. We go to the candy, and we get to where he stocked it last night, and he goes, "It was just here. I just filled this up yesterday." I'm like, well, dude, this is baby food. I don't know. And he said, I don't know. I don't know where it went. So kind of played Where's Waldo, except for it was Where's the Candy, and we finally found it.
You got to have one of those maps. It's like you're here.
Yeah, they're definitely moving it every day. I don't think nothing's going to be set in stone until July 4th is when they're scheduled to open it for the new reveal or whatever. So either way.
Y'all got some new radios up here, looks like.
Yeah, so we've actually sold 3 of those, and that one's actually sold next Wednesday. It just come in a little late. It was supposed to have been here this Wednesday for him. But yeah, you're going to see, if I don't get caught up here, you're going to see a lot of brand new speakers and stuff like that. It's becoming summertime.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it's becoming Father's Day. So we got to have Father's Day gifts, right? We always get asked, what can I get? What can I get? If they start early, they usually try to price shop, what can I get in this price range? But the closer it gets to the Father's Day, the more it's like, I got to have something. Yep. So we try to make it to where they can have their budget the way they want it. So what I thought we could do today is kind of pick out a few things that would be good for Father's Day. Speakers being one of them.
Well, that one looks like it's got 2 subs in it. Maybe 4-inch, 3 or 4-inch subs. So how is it compared to the bump box? Like, which one of them's got more bumps?
So that was actually a discussion yesterday that me and her had. So I'm gonna throw her on blast. No, I'm just playing. She likes the bump box better.
Okay.
She said that the Milwaukee one. Now, full transparency here. Yesterday was our first time of really playing with it, cutting it on. So, whatever we say here, if you have one and you know how to make the bass better, throw it in the comments. We'll read it. But she liked the bump box better because it had more bass. She likes more bass.
I do too.
So
I'm a bass guy.
I'm not a huge music guy. Like, I'm the type to where, I'll cut the radio on and I may listen to a talk show rather than listen to music. Right. So, to me, I like both of them. She likes the bump box better. So,
obviously, this one has to be charged. There's no change in battery. So when you juice it out, you got to wait a while.
Yeah, you got to charge it.
That one, you can.
So there's pros and cons to everything. Yeah, and that's going to be the main thing. And that's what I was telling her. This one here, when they design these, they're usually designed, whether you like to admit it or not, they're more of the construction side. So they're going to have the batteries and stuff like that. And that was my excuse to why maybe the bass wasn't as much as it is. It's more on a construction side. It's not, as...
Well, so you can see the subs. I don't know if I can get the camera to show it. But you can see the subs in this one. It's this wide. All right. And this one is definitely got a bigger sub.
Definitely.
So
that's going to be one of those things to where we probably figure it out. We got another one coming in, obviously, with that one being sold. And it's supposed to be sunny this Saturday. Cross our fingers, maybe it won't rain.
So y'all can try it out and let us know next week which one jams.
You can guarantee you them kids are going to be in the pool. If they're not in the pool today, they're going to be in there tomorrow.
Because I can tell you the telltale sign if you're on a boat and you want to know if you got a good system. If the water's smooth and you got it on, if you can see the ripples off the side of the boat, whether it be a pontoon or a regular boat, you can see it. So y'all have to let us know, because I'm interested.
Yeah, so the Milwaukee one does come with a plug as well. So if you don't have to have a battery, but we have one shop. The shop that it's actually going to, they've had a smaller one that they said they leave it on 24/7. They never cut it off. Obviously they've got it plugged in, but they've been in that new shop about 2 years, and they said they've never cut it off. They leave it on at night and everything. And we got a couple of shops that do that. I don't know, but either way, so. Good speakers either way.
So Bluetooth radios. That one's AM FM too. I don't know about the bump box.
The bump box is not. The bump box is what's on your playlist.
All right. So those are great gifts. What else you got?
So flashlights are always a good thing. So you're gonna have to pick your poison on a flashlight, because there's 9,000 different ones.
Absolutely.
So do we want them to have a headband light? Do we want them to have a pocket light? I'll even throw in the Coast lights here. You have the wedge, you have the Coast layers, and you have 19 different types of the Streamlight. You have the smaller ones, you have the battery power ones, you have all kinds of them. These here,
you got the Stylus Pro USB, you have the wedge, what's the Wedge XT, the Macro Stream, the Micro Stream.
Right.
You can just stay there all day long looking at Streamlights.
Right. So pick your poison on the flashlights. We have several different types.
Well, I want to ask your opinion, because you are like me. You tote stuff in your pockets.
Yeah.
So out of the Wedge or the Wedge XT, which button design do you like better? Because you know the Wedge XT's got the push button on the tail of it, and this one's got the little switch.
I'm a push button guy.
I like it too.
I think that was a cool design. I have one of those, a green one, but I like the push button style.
I do too, because if you've ever had this thing get turned on in your pocket, and the bad part about it, it's not going to happen when you're standing up.
Right.
Like you can get to it like you are here. It's going to wait till you got a seatbelt on. And then when you notice it's hot, it's way too late at that point.
That's right.
There ain't no getting it cooled off quick enough.
Yeah, that's right. I actually had that happen with mine. Mine's a green one with that like that. And like you said, driving down the road, and you know, if you have luck like me, the least little swerve to get that flashlight out, there's a cop sitting somewhere. So I try not to be distracted at all. So
and once cotton blue jeans, you know, that I don't know what it is about cotton, but it will hold that heat. I mean, you know, like when you take them out of the dryer and you go to fold them up, they're still hot 10 minutes later.
That's right. Or if you know, one of the things I used to do when I was a kid is take them wintertime, hold them up to the heater and let them, well, you do that too long, you got to put them on.
Start smoking your legs.
You know it real quick like. So yeah, we have the flashlights that you could do for Father's Day. The earbuds is always good. We're talking about speakers, why not do earbuds as well?
I actually like earbuds a lot.
Yeah.
One, for the sound.
Yeah.
You know, like your weed eating or you know, anything like that. I
use the Raycon headphones for the mower and weed eating. I do that. It has that noise canceling mode, so I can click that on, and it automatically makes the mower sound almost, you know, silent.
And that's crazy too. You remember the first time you ever had noise canceling? Like you put it in your ear and you hit the button to turn it on. It's like, everything goes to nothing.
So
crazy.
I like that, and then I can cut my music on. I get headaches really easy with music. I don't know why. So if it's really loud, I get a headache quick. And the problem that I had for years on the lawnmower is the lawnmower was already loud.
Yeah.
So then if I had music in my ear,
crank it wide open.
I had to crank it. So I had music wide open, the lawnmower's wide open. So what I find with the Raycon headphones is I can hit the noise canceling and it cuts that lawnmower to a level that's fine. I can barely hear it, and then I can just barely cut my music on.
Yeah.
Now I won't hear you.
Yeah.
So don't be out there yelling because she found that out.
That's what I like about wearing, hearing protection like that. Like I turn it up just enough I can still hear, but you'll hear like if you run over something or something like that.
So I do like the headphones. It's hard to keep them on here, but by far, if you mow a lot, we got 2.5 acres. If you mow a lot, you need some type of ear protection so that later in life you still hear. So, but yeah, headphones, knives. We've got Kershaw. We've got all kinds of knives. Knives are always good. We've got the Schrader knives. We've got Kershaw knives. I feel like dads would love knives. I mean, everybody likes a good knife, right? I carry one every day. I know. I don't know a tool truck one in this area that don't have knives. So knives is big. So if you are looking for that gift, those are some of the ones. None of that stuff is really, really expensive. Now, if you want to start getting expensive, which, hey, that's up to you. The sunglasses are always a good option.
Redback boots.
Redback boots.
It's hard to beat them.
And
that's something too, like most dads will wear a pair of boots. Like I've got on tennis shoes today. They're my work shoes. And I'm going to show you guys. Look how wore out these are. There's like no tread left on them at all. And the inside's terrible. Like all the foams come out. But I've noticed most guys will do that. They'll wear a pair of boots so there's nothing left because they're so expensive,
Yep. Well, and the redback boots last so long, which if you didn't know, redback forever, everybody loves that red sole on the redbacks. That is the sole that everybody just falls in love with. Now, with that being said, the redback break-in time for up here around your ankle.
Oh yeah, it's rough.
Some people can put them things on and say, awesome, right off the bat. They're weird.
They eat into me for like 3 weeks before they finally.
I don't know what's up with them group of people, but they're weird. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Then there's the type that's about normally a week. That was me. I was about a week. Because that first week, like they felt like just standing still, they felt amazing. Walking, I felt like there was somebody down there with a knife.
Yeah.
And then there's the 2-week group. The 2-week group is the ones that you have to really stress to, of hey, these you've got to stay with them. You wear them for 2 or 3 days, and then just say screw it. You're not going to get.
But once you get them broke in,
it's just breaking in that ankle. And we got one guy that swears by I couldn't do this. He swears by dipping them in water and putting them on. He says at the end of the day they broke in. I would have blisters the size of Texas. I couldn't do that. But with that being said, I know you're like, well, if I can't put them on and wear them right, I buy these shoes. I've got a brand new pair, guys. These are dirty as all get out. They're my work shoes.
Dude, the smart man works in old shoes, and he wears his good shoes to town and on date night. Like that's how real guys do it.
I've got a brand new pair, just like they're identical to these sitting at the house. You cannot buy a brand new pair of shoes. I cannot buy a brand new pair of shoes and they be comfortable. Yeah. They're going to hurt my toes to begin with, or they're going to feel
squish the side of your feet. Something.
There's going to be a break-in time. So the ones that can put them on and they be instant comfortable, hey, good for y'all. But the ones that have to break them in, you're going to be in one of those groups. I've never heard of anybody taking longer than 2 weeks.
Mine, it took about 3 weeks for us, so they got broken in. There we go. Because. Like walking, you're right, about 2 weeks. Driving is where they would eat up my ankles, right beside the little Velcro piece.
Right.
Like I guess maybe the Velcro hadn't stretched in good, but man, them things killed I was still driving a truck when I bought the first pair, and I'd wore them around the shop and stuff for about 2 weeks. And one of the drivers was out, and I had to tear out and go to Dallas, Texas, and back, which is not far. 8 hours or whatever. But dude, time I got down there, I was ready to take my boots off because clutching that big truck, I felt like I didn't have any skin left under my ankle bone.
Yeah, I didn't think about driving.
I was like, well,
I kind of got off the point though. I started talking about the soles.
Yeah.
I don't know, ADHD, I guess. They have now come out with a new sole. They still come with these, but you're used to getting the brown. You're used to getting the brown sole, and everybody would say, "Hey, that's not as comfortable as the red there," and we'd be like, "Well, can we get the red?" No, we can't get the red, and we just haven't. We've never been able to. Well, after begging them and begging them and begging them, and I don't know how many people actually begged for this, but I know I begged every year at Expo. They come out with some new red insoles, and they say that they are to mimic those. And everybody we've sold these to have instantly fell in love to them.
You would think they would just sell what comes in them.
Yes, I agree. But that's what they obviously these are not yellow underneath them,
right.
And they don't have gel in them that I can tell. But either way, I don't know why they don't. They say it's because these have to be cut to fit. I don't know why they have to be cut to fit. You make a size of boot.
Looks like a fella be smart enough to pull his old one out, lay it on top of the new one, take a pair of scissors, and just.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were having to cut these anyway.
It ain't that hard to do.
So I don't know. I may be talking to the wrong person of why they haven't just sold those, but I wish they would, because that's what everybody wants. But now most people get about a year out of them before the soles are even messed up. And then now that they have these and everybody's loving these soles, you get even longer. I have seen the boots last 3 years. Yeah. That's the longest that I have seen.
Well, I can tell you, whatever this clear material that they use that's on the bottom,
right,
you can't wear that stuff out.
No.
If they made a set of tires, they could charge $1,000 a tire for them. And, you know, when your car hits about 220,000 and it's just time for it to go off to car heaven, those tires, you could pull them off and put them on something else.
Right. Well, and for a while that we wasn't able to get brown. They had we just couldn't get brown.
Yeah.
You could get it at other, Amazon, whatever. I don't really like talking about Amazon, but you could. But we couldn't. We could not get brown. Well, we can get brown again. And they do offer steel toe as well. We don't sell as many steel toe. The people that buy the steel toe are normally buying it because they rub the toes out.
Off,
they do make scuff guards that do glue on these, so you don't have to go the steel toe route. So if you're wearing the toes out, you can get the scuff guard that glue on there. But that's rare, and like I said, the average is about 1.5 years to 2 years that you're getting out of them. If you're really careful, you'll get the 3. Most of the time when they wear out, they've either been cut right here, or this is broke loose after bending and binding, and like you said, driving and everything else. So if you've never wore the redback boots, try them out, give them a shot at some point.
Like tough it out through the break-in period, and you'll love them.
Right, it's going to have a break-in period, but that's like the redback socks. Nobody, that's the biggest misconception when we're like, hey, have you ever tried the redback socks? Socks are socks. No, socks are not socks.
Definitely, they're not. There's a huge difference in socks.
I'd
rather have a good pair of socks and a decent pair of shoes is a great pair of shoes and crappy socks.
That's right. So normally what ends up happening is we end up giving them one pair, and they come back and buy a whole pack.
Like a drug dealer. You give them the first little sample, you get them hooked on it, and then guess what? Everybody's depending on Matco for their socks. That's bad.
Well,
y'all do. I'm just playing.
Well, we're just trying to help them be comfortable in life with their socks. Okay.
There you go.
I wear redback socks all the time. Now, I don't pay attention to which side the little thing's on.
I don't either.
Everybody tells me she's laughing because she's the main one to say, hey, your socks are on backwards. I don't pay attention to which side that is. I'm not going to, it is what it is.
You know,
But
now kids don't even match colors of socks.
That's
they have
right.
like a gray one and a green one on. I don't care.
Well,
Like, I can't do that now. I am OCD, but
Yeah.
like the Matco symbol being on the inside of my leg versus, I don't care. Because
Yeah.
Matco didn't pay me for those socks. I bought those socks. So
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't have to advertise.
I don't care which side the symbol's on. So if you see me, well, you're not gonna see me. I hardly ever wear shorts, so you ain't gonna see it. But either way, if you have those boots to help with the break-in, if you'll buy the tall redback socks, and why redback socks? Redback socks goes into that cheaper category.
Yeah.
To where you can get some
And they're
redback
good.
socks, and they will love them. I've got my dad hooked. He's got to have his pair of redback socks to work in. So
you could be like Joe. Joe wears shorts and then tall socks and his redback boots.
I worked with a guy that did that.
Yeah.
So
Joe's straight up like Steve Irwin with that. He don't care.
see, and the thing about him is he's been that way forever.
Yeah.
So like most of you think of us as competition, which I mean we are, I guess. But the thing about it is, Joe was my tool dealer at one time. When I was a technician, Joe would come in and sell, and then he wrecked his truck, and he went through that whole process. But yeah, I mean, he's been that way from day one. Like it's almost, especially when the temps just start to get warm, he goes straight to shorts, and that's all you see him in from that point forward. Or it used to be. I haven't seen him in a while.
And Joe don't care. Joe is who he is. It don't matter who you are or what you
But it's not the best way to be, though.
Yeah.
Like I would rather somebody be that way
Yeah.
than try to fit in for some odd reason. Be who you are.
Like if Joe showed up in pants and it's hot, I'm like, man, who died? Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't have to go to the funeral home or something.
That's right. So we've talked about several things. The grip hooks, if they got a shop, or even if they don't have a shop,
Those
the
are
grip
great.
hooks. There is a numerous amount of things. I mean, you could talk about ratchets, you could talk about wrenches, you could talk about a bunch of things. But
Oh,
most
if you got plenty of money, you can
Yeah.
do the Milwaukee route. you
Hey,
know?
there you go. That's a lot of birthday stuff and Christmas stuff. Milwaukee sells really good for there. I mean, we can't forget about the clip lifters. Everybody needs a clip lifter.
Yep.
Especially if they're a tech. So that's the thing about it. Most of the time, the people that get on here, their dads either are a tech, was a tech, been a tech, or some type of tech. It usually runs in the family. Not
Well,
always.
every dad likes tools. Like even
Right.
if your dad works on computers or like does software for a living, like at home he still changes light switch covers, or you know what I mean. Like,
Yep.
there's still stuff.
Changes oil,
Right.
works on the lawnmower, something. So if that's the case, there's something on here. The main thing is don't think, well, it's the tool truck, it's going to be too expensive, let me just order something somewhere. That's not the case. You still got plenty of time. We got 9,000 different types of speakers, lights, I mean, a little bit of everything.
I think one of the coolest things that Matco has, and I don't even know if we've showed them in forever, is y'all's sunglasses, the safety glasses that you can't break.
Yeah, so
know,
we have those here.
Leslie had that one pair and she twisted them plumb over and they didn't break. I was like, that's exactly what I need, because most of my sunglasses
They do.
get destroyed by getting left in a car seat and getting set on.
So I think we've had one pair of these get broke, and I don't even know how that.
It was the nose piece.
The nose piece. Okay.
Right there.
So yeah, it wasn't broke. So yeah, these, I mean, they flex every which way.
Didn't they have like a demo or something set up where that thing was in like a machine just constantly?
It's constantly, because that's what people say, is they say, oh, over time it's going to break. They, for 4 days straight, they were sitting there steadily going back and forth, back and forth.
So are those like UV protected and all that kind of stuff?
I'll let her look that up. I mean, they're definitely.
But they're not, those are not like super crazy expensive like
No,
the
I think
Ray-Bans and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, they're under $30-something, $38. They're under that. I think most of them run in the 20s, but 34 for these.
So you can't beat that.
Does it
man.
have any type of like
you'll pay that for a pair of gas station sunglasses, you know?
UVA, UVB, and UVC.
Yeah, let's just spin that around so he can show that.
So they're 100% UVA, UVB.
Yeah, right there, 100%. So, you know, we talked about sunglasses, and I said they were more expensive. I forgot all about these, so there you go.
Yeah.
Like
that's,
they don't have to
I would
be
be tickled to death for my kids to buy me something like that instead of a necktie or socks or underwear.
Right. Yeah.
Like socks are cool, but like not the white Walmart Hanes.
Yeah. Well, and you know, we're talking about mowing and weed eating earlier. You don't want to mow or weed eat in your Oakleys or
Sure.
your Ray-Bans or Costas or
Get
whatever.
'em scratched
So
up.
you can actually use these here for that as well. Or we had a dad who bought their sons these because they go out on the water, and he's like, I know we've done put a couple pair of Oakleys.
I've lost a pair on the lake.
You know, for kids to go on a boat, that's an option there. The main thing is they're not gonna, even the ones you buy at the store, they get broke a lot because they get sat on, or the kid just throws them in, you know, down, and the next thing you know, somebody steps on them or something, drops them. Kids do weird things, so these are a lot more resistant to that, because like what you just saw, we've been back and forth. Now I'm sure if you sit there and did it all day every day, you probably discolor right there where it's been in. I don't know, the ones at Expo didn't, but I'll throw it out there that mine, I don't know, but the ones at Expo, they didn't break, nothing happened, so that's an
And y'all
option.
make them in clear too, don't you? So
Yeah,
you
they
can
do
use
have
them for like grinding or cutting or whatever.
They do have, are these these ain't the,
Yeah, those
are these the Force Flicks?
are
They're just a
Look
lot.
at there, just trying it anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. We'll figure it out if it is or not.
Yeah. But
So that's really good. Like, so even if your dad mows or weed eats, or he runs a chainsaw or anything like that, protect them eyeballs, because
we sold a crap ton of the clear ones at a sawmill, because they're not allowed to have the shaded here.
Right.
Obviously working in there, but they break theirs a lot. They fall off or whatever. We sold 20 something pairs up there just because, and that's one of those sales that you're not going to sell to that guy again unless they lose them, and we knew that, and we haven't sold any more up there except for the new people because they don't break.
that's good.
That's something as well.
Like, I think out of all the stuff we showed, that would be my pick of what I wish my kids would get me.
Yeah, I'm a flashlight guy, so I would rather a flashlight or a knife. But like I said, everybody's different. That's why we showed you, I don't know how many things we showed you, but everybody likes something different. So if you got a Matco tool truck, they can get anything that we showed you. We didn't show anything special, so
Well, I think
Talk
some
to
of them's pretty special. They
Well-
may just be commonly found on your tool truck.
when I say special, I mean all this stuff is nice, right?
Yeah.
What I mean is I didn't have to jump through no hoops
To get it on
to get it.
stock,
This is normal stuff that an everyday Matco dealer can get their hands on. Like our Cobra Tech knives, I left those out because
those are cool.
those are not, you don't order those through Matco, so
Right.
I left those out for that reason, because that's something that I bought. But the hooks, all that over there, I mean, it's ordered straight through Matco. The glasses, so your dealer can get them. I mean,
And y'all have time to order.
Yeah,
Like, it
you've
ain't like
got
it's
time.
Sunday, right?
So if you've seen anything, or if you don't like any of this and you want some more ideas, put a message in the comments. I'll read it and we'll try to talk about it next week. Like, we want to help you get something now, that way you're not coming the week of Father's Day and like, hey, I need something now.
Scrambling.
That's normally when you spend more,
Yep.
because it's what we got. So
And everything's kind of picked over at that point, right?
at that point, yeah, well, there's starting now. We're gonna hang a sign up Monday that says, Father's Day coming, and that's when these Father's Day stuff.
Y'all need to have a countdown on it.
That's right.
Yep.
So, hey, buy them something nice, make them happy.
There you go.
Hopefully, y'all get something happy, or something that makes you happy. If not, there's a lot of women that watch the video. Maybe they'll pick out something for you.
Yeah.
I've sold to a couple of wives. Actually sold
There's been
impacts.
comments left that my wife seen this on the video and contacted my dealer and ended up meeting him and ended up with a surprise.
There you
which
go.
That's pretty cool for a woman to go that far out of the way to make
Just
something
if your
happen.
wife watches these, be sure to drop some hints on what you like the most.
Or if you like stuff you see on here, just send her the video and be like, hint, hint.
There you go.
There you go.
Do that anyway.
All right, guys, like always, thanks for hanging out with us today. Hit that thumbs up. It don't cost you nothing. It helps the videos. Check over for merchandise, cool tools, and discount down here. If you're not subscribed, take your thing danger and click that button. Y'all have a great weekend. It's finally Friday. See ya.